I'm pretty close to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. This morning I was down in Phoenix running the Damn Good Run and going to the awards ceremony. I was actually very surprised. I got second place in the ultra distance women's masters category, and so that was kind of fun. So I decided to go ahead and do a race and went down for that. So this morning I was camped by Lake Pleasant down in the Phoenix area, and then tomorrow my training plan is to actually go down South Kaibab for some distance and come back up. So this is just to get some ascent training. So I went from Lake Pleasant back to my home in Prescott and changed out a few things, and then drove up to just outside of Grand Canyon National Park, and I have my trusty RV there. My RV's name is Cub, and I have a lovely dispersed campsite here where I have quite a lot of the forest, mostly to myself, which is kind of cool. So I'm enjoying this. The weather is perfect right now. It was a little bit warm down in Lake Pleasant in the afternoon, but I think it's actually about 72 degrees right now, and sunny, blue skies with a few hints of clouds. Let's see if I can get the clouds here in the background. Might be a little too washed out to really see that, but some really, really beautiful weather. I'm very excited to go do some training in the Grand Canyon tomorrow. Today's run this morning was a 26K, and I did that a little harder than training pace, which is often what I do for events, and especially since that's a shorter distance, I think it was okay to go a little bit harder than training pace. Tomorrow is all about ascent, and my plan is to not go harder than training pace. In fact, I may go easier. I may just enjoy the morning in the canyon. The weather's supposed to be pretty good. And then tomorrow night, I actually have a campsite in the national park, and my husband's going to join me. And on Tuesday, he is going to do his first trip down into the canyon, all the way down to the river, down to Phantom Ranch, and then we're going to come back out Bright Angel. So we're going to go down South Kaibab and come out Bright Angel Trail. And I am so excited to take him all the way down to the river. He hasn't been before, but his climbing this year has been going really well. And so I don't think he'll have any trouble with this. We're going to take it slow. So both Monday and Tuesday are going to be enjoy the canyon, get some ascent, get some time on feet. And this will be my last canyon trip for the spring, because I'm pretty much booked up now until we take off to go to Montana. And I've got a couple of other trips planned, but I think this is my last trip over to the canyon. We'll see. I might be able to sneak in another trip sometime. I'm not positive, but I'm really excited about this. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little video inside of Cub, my RV, so that I can show off my home away from home. I like to take Cub to races. It's a lot of fun. So this front area here, I turn the driver's seat around, and then I have a desk where I can set up my computer, and there's actually a plug and everything, and the TV above can be used as a secondary monitor, which is kind of fun. Don't have it set up that way right now, but if I were doing something really intensive. And then this is the kind of kitchen area, and we have twin beds in the back. They're not perfectly made up, but this is actually what it looks like pretty typically. And you know, wonderful views out the windows of my forest campsite. So it's really very relaxing to sit down on the beds here, and we have these tables that we can pull out. Right now they're braced for travel, but we can pull those out and have dinner on those tables. And this is obviously where I sleep. I don't have my pillow pulled out yet. I have an extra blanket, which was not needed down in Phoenix, but never know but what I might want to use it here. And then, like I said, the kitchen area. And then we have a wet bath area. So toilet and then a shower curtain that we can pull across for showering, and then of course the sink area and the shower head. So it's got all of the essentials, and it's very small. It's just an extended length Sprinter van, which works really well. It's very easy to drive around and park, and works for both Rick and I, and just makes a fantastic vehicle for traveling to races, or like I'm doing today. I don't have a campsite in the park today, so I'm just doing some dispersed camping, and I will go into the park tomorrow morning to do my hike. So it's a really nice setup, but I thought I would show this off because it is part of my training and my event participation. All right, coming down to Point. It's 6:22, and sunrise I think was about 5:45. So there's our sign, and it's very appropriately named. Just beautiful. Trail down below there is the one I'll be on in a few minutes. I'm a little bit below Point now, and just getting into the sun a bit. Coming up is one of my favorite sections of trail to either be photographed on or photograph other people on. The very first time I came down into the canyon, Rick ran partway down with me, and he got my picture going out on this section of the trail. And the reason I think it's really neat is you just follow the top of this ridge. Narrow, it's not that narrow, but it's a somewhat narrow ridge. And I'm on the switchback above it right now, so I'll get a good shot of it from over here. But you run out along that ridge, and it just looks really neat. And then you switch back down and end up over by Cedar Ridge. So, get another shot of this when I get a bit lower. So here I am down at that ridge now. And basically, if you photograph it from right about here, it looks really cool with somebody running down that ridge. And the trees, they're just growing up out of the rocks. I mean, obviously, there's soil here, but it sure looks like they're just mostly growing up out of the rocks. And we've got a beautiful sunrise today. Nice day for a training run. But can you imagine a more inspiring place to get out and do your morning run? Just beautiful views. And in the morning, the shadows in the canyon are really long, so that makes it very dramatic. You see a lot of the texture. Another beautiful section of ridge here. Just loving this. I'm looking down on Cedar Ridge from above. You can see the pit toilets there, and that is 1.5 miles from the trailhead. So that's your first restroom break, and I often go ahead and hit all the restrooms on the way down. Just that I'm comfortable. got a big long switchback to go before I get down there, but just right down there. And here's Cedar Ridge at ground level. So, a nice sign that tells us where we are. And our facilities, which I'll go hit. And the mules sometimes stop here too, so there's some hitching posts for the mules. And just a really big open area. Nice place to stop and look around. Of course, I'm so busy videoing, I'm just slipping on the grid on the ground here. But gorgeous morning. I'm headed down to Skeleton Point now, but I wanted to get some views from along this ridge. You can see I'm now below the big red rock area on Cedar Ridge, and just making good progress. Up ahead of me is Skeleton Point. When I get there, I'll take a little video right there. This is Skeleton Point. Can be an intimidating name if you're coming down here the first time. I have heard rumors that below here there have been mules that have fallen off the trail. I don't know that I believe that, but it's not that narrow. I guess if a mule spooked or something, maybe, but the trail's not that bad. Continuing on down, actually this is a good shot here. We got some switchbacks right below us, and then we'll actually wrap around the nose over here on a trail you can't see and end up on those switchbacks going down along that side. Just below Skeleton Point, I thought this was really pretty, so I wanted to go ahead and get some video of this. I forgot to mention Skeleton Point is about 3 miles down from the trailhead. It does not have any facilities, but Tip-Off does. Tip-Off has another set of restrooms. So, but this is really neat looking here. I know it's a little bouncy. It's kind of hard to video and walk down the gritty rock. Get one more view at this switchback here. It's very quiet. I've only passed a few hikers this morning. Honestly, I'm not even sure if they were going up or coming down. I'm getting into the shadow here. There we go. Now that you're in the shadow, you can see the trail a little bit better. And then it wraps around. This is the nose of that ridge I was talking about, where we wrap around right here. And this is the scene of the infamous squirrel attack on Jubilee. I was walking along talking to Haley, and I heard an eek behind me. I turned around, and this squirrel had basically skittered right under her feet. So it was kind of amusing. So we've wrapped around the nose of the ridge here. And now you can see switchbacks, and actually people, or a person, see switchbacks going down below. I'm coming down the hill above Tip-Off, and there's actually a backpacker coming into Tip-Off on Tonto Trail. It's one of the cross trails in the park. So, don't as often see people on those. I'm just going to finish running down. This is Tip-Off at ground level. Another mule stop area. And this is about 4.5 miles down from the trailhead. Normally I would hit the bathrooms here, but the last 3 times I've hit them, it's been a really unpleasant smell, really strong urea smell, literally burns your nose and eyes. So I'm gonna wait till Phantom Ranch. But other than that, this is a beautiful location. And certainly the facilities are usable if you need them. Just below tip-off, we have one of my favorite signs. The South Kaibab Trail tip-off emergency phone. And then if you look up there, you can see the emergency phone. I don't know if anybody ever uses that, but I think it's amusing. And down I go. Just a few switchbacks below tip-off. It's where you get your first view of the Colorado River. Actually, it's not the first view of the Colorado, but it's the first close view. Sunlight's just getting down into there. And I love this sweep of trail that goes from this promontory that I'm on and wraps around. There's a few hikers on it right now. A little hard to see until I'm in the shade. But right now I'm in the shade. It's a little bit easier to see how that trail wraps around down there. And then the last time I came down here with my friends, there was a big group of mules stopped right here. We had to go around behind them. They were taking a breather. It's a good place to take a breather. This area is shaded, and it's shaded pretty much most of the day, I think. Maybe all day. So the mules took a breather here, and we went around them. Got some backpackers taking a breather here now. Really good place for that. This is another really fun view, looking down at the switchbacks, and then you can see all the way down to the Black Bridge, which is how I'm going to cross the Colorado River. Colorado River. So this is just the last little bit of descent on the South Kaibab Trail. Come around the corner here. One more view. Just really, really neat. And here we have our first mule train of the day coming up the hill. So
You're gonna get a real good shot of us in a second here.
all right. There go the mules. And they're gonna stop and take a break here. As you come down the last bit of the downhill on South Kaibab, you can see the anchor blocks for the suspension cables for the bridge, the pink blocks up above, through the cliff there. And then there's a tunnel that you actually go through to get onto the bridge on this side. I'm down at the tunnel now. And first get a little look up there. The bridge across the creek up there, that's Bright Angel Creek, and right around where all those trees are is Bright Angel Campground. So get ourselves through the tunnel here. It's a fairly short tunnel. And on to the Black Suspension Bridge. which differs from the silver suspension bridge. I won't go across the silver one today because I'm going out and back on South Kaibab because it's the steeper way back up, and I'm just trying to get a lot of ascent per mile today. But tomorrow, when Rick and I come down together, I will go up, or we'll both go up Bright Angel after we go to Phantom Ranch, and we will end up crossing the Silver Bridge. And you can see the Silver Bridge right there. So just a little bit further downriver. And I'm gonna go on, and technically if I just wanted a scent I could turn around now, but I need to go pick up water. So I'm gonna do that at Bright Angel, at a Phantom. This is Bright Angel Creek. And the trail on the right over there goes to Phantom Ranch. And it's a pretty area here on the creek. It's going across this bridge. And I've actually decided I'm going to see if there's water here. And if so, I'll get some and get turned around. Okay, there was water and restrooms right there. And I've got my shade bandana on now, and it's wet. And I got my arm sleeves wet, which probably means they don't actually work for UV anymore, but I'm gonna go climb out. I'm all ready, and it's not even that late in the morning yet, so I'm gonna go get started. Got some rafts coming into Boat Beach here. Starting to head back up to the Black Bridge. Looks like a beautiful morning to be out on the river. And there is water at the beach as well, assuming it's turned on. But I went ahead and went to the campground since I needed to hit the facilities there anyway. And I was very surprised. I did not realize they have flush toilets at Bright Angel Campground. And sinks in the bathrooms. Sadly, there was no soap, but hey, running water is an improvement over many other things. So, under the Black Bridge now. It's a view you don't usually see. And I'm gonna get moving. Climbing up. And just inspiring views. Makes it much easier to climb when you're climbing towards these really scenic views above the beautiful river. All right, I've come up a bunch of the switchbacks. Climbing steadily, but also trying to keep the pace pretty easy. Today is about ascent and time on feet. And I'm going down into the canyon tomorrow with Rick. And I want to make sure I have lots of energy to really enjoy that. So, just hiking up. Not pushing, enjoying the beautiful weather. I am glad I did get my hat wet. It's not actually hot yet, but it's warm enough to where the cooling is nice. And I see no reason not to be comfortable and have fun. That's one of the reasons I come to the canyon, is to have fun. I mean, sure, I want to get some scent too, but this is the way I like to train. do something, but make it be enjoyable. And this is sure enjoyable. What a great backyard. Going up. I was just thinking about, oh, there's actually a good view of Bright Angel Creek right there. I was just thinking about how I don't do that many outings that are super slow like this. Usually I'm doing more running, like this guy's doing.
Morning.
Well, actually not like him. He's a lot faster than I am. But I am having so much fun right now. Just walking along, enjoying the views, enjoying the morning. It's a little after 9 a.m. And we skipped this on the way down. I think we're gonna go walk out here and go out to this nice big viewpoint here. Because why would we not? I mean, it's just amazing. And Rick is doing lunch with Kylan today, because Kylan actually doesn't have school. They have a snow day they didn't need. So he is home, so Rick decided to stay and do lunch with him and then drive up, which is perfect, because that means I'm really on no schedule whatsoever. Just looking at the canyon walls, looking at the river. And it is so peaceful and quiet. Whoops, wrong way. Back onto the trail, do some more climbing. Love the morning light across the cliff faces. Still a little ways below tip-off. That's where I'm headed. Here's a little different perspective on that arcing trail that I was showing in the shadow earlier. Now we can look up along the arc, and also right here where you get views on both sides. Look back down that way. And out over the canyon this way. I thought it was kind of neat to see this section with some sunlight on it. Although at the time of day I'm coming up right now, there's still a surprising amount of shade on lower South Kaibab. And I only say surprising because Kaibab is described as, and correctly described as, being very exposed because a lot of the trail runs down along a ridge. But in the morning, you know, you get a fair bit of shade cast on various sections of the trail. And so right here and get completely into the shade. And it's nice. All right, I'm just a tiny bit below tip off. I wanted to get one more shot that included the river. This arc of the trail here. And then my route up. Tip off is just a little bit up and around the bend here. Here we have a mule group stopped at tip off. And then enjoying the nice breeze right here. So right after I left tip off, the mule train that had stopped there got rolling again. And I don't know how fast they go, but I didn't want to get passed by them. So I picked up the pace a bit. And I do not see them on the switchbacks below me. And I'm guessing they'll probably take another break at Skeleton Point, which is just a little bit further up. So I think I have put them behind me. There's my mule train. They came into sight. But they're not moving very fast. And in fact, it looks like they're taking a breather. So I think I am clear of them because I'm still climbing really well. Wrapping around the nose of that ridge just below Skeleton Point. And I had forgotten you actually do get a view of the river here. But in any case, also get a little bit of shade here. I think this is the first bits of shade I've had since I started up the switchbacks above tip-off. Just below Cedar Ridge now. Did the little flatter section behind me. And I'm gonna head up and get back to the next set of facilities. I don't know if I'll need them yet or not, but we'll see. And really nice views. And there's the flatter section that I just finished doing. One of the positive things about being on an exposed ridge is you get lots of nice breezes. So it is sunny. It's starting to get a little warm. But there's some really awesome breezes right now. They make it feel really pretty decent. Not to mention the incredible views. I'm basically at Cedar Ridge now. Just came up this trail, and I got a kick out of the fact that there's a ranger parked right under that tree, and I wouldn't have probably noticed him as much, except there was a young man running down the trail that had no water, and as he passed the ranger said, "Shouldn't you have some water?" And the young man said, "No, I'm good." So hopefully he's either not planning to go down too far or he's super heat acclimatized. So I just stopped a few steps below the Cedar Ridge platform area so I could get a little video of that ranger. We exchanged a few comments and I told him he had a nice little lookout there, and he said, "Yeah, this is my office for the day." And I told him it was very classy. But on and up. All right, back to one of my favorite sections. Still working my way up the hill. It's rather a big hill, so it takes a while. But I had to get my ridgeline view behind me there. So I did not stop at Ua Point on the way up. And the main reason is it's really crowded. I've never come through here at this time of day, so kind of the middle of the day. And obviously it's a great destination for doing a nice lunch or snack or something. So I just decided to go a little further up, and then I figured there'd be a point at which I could turn back and get some video of all of the people down there, which I thought would be amusing all by itself. So, woo! So, kind of a big crowd down there. Of course, crowd by my standards, that's not really a crowd, but it's a nice day. I'm coming up the last non-switchback section of South Kaibab. This part just gradually climbs uphill while running along the shoulder of the ridge. And then at the very end, it's kind of cool looking when there's a mule train or a lot of people on it. There's a set of switchbacks along that kind of yellowish cliff. If you look carefully, you can probably see people on them. And that's the final climb up to the rim. And then Cub is actually probably somewhere a little bit further around on the rim, parked a little less than a mile away from the trailhead. So almost done with today's climb. I just want to get one more closer perspective of those switchbacks because they look really cool from here. And now you're close enough to really see people on the trail there headed up. And the light's really good on it right now. And of course, this is another fun perspective on the switchbacks, which is looking down on them. And then you can look out along the ridge at the path that I was coming up when I was shooting those before. But the switchbacks really just tuck right into this last section of trail, and they help you get up this last bit of cliff. Just winding back and forth all the way up. If you can't make it here, hopefully this video gives you a little bit of a sense for what it is. But I love South Kaibab Trail. I love North Kaibab Trail too. Trails here are fabulous. They're great for training. They're beautiful. They look different all at different times of the day. So it all looks different coming out than it did going in. And even if you're running by yourself, and there are great stretches where I have the trail to myself for a while, especially as you get near to the rim. There's a lot of other people on the trail. And every day I think you have a certain number of rim to rim to rim runners. So that means that, you know, if you did manage to fall down and get yourself hurt, somebody would probably find you. You're never really completely alone on the corridor trails. So I'm just wrapping up my outing on the section of the rim trail. It's a nice paved path that runs all the way along the rim back to the visitor center. And then I think there's some unpaved sections. Can't remember exactly how it lays in, but in any case, this is how I get to the South Kaibab trail head when I'm not taking the shuttle. I just park. There's some pullouts along the rim road, and you can park at those and then just go a little distance on here. So I think the closest one is 3/4 of a mile, which is the place I was able to park when I went for rim to rim to rim, because I got there really early. But today I didn't feel like starting that early, since I was only going down and back up, out and back on South Kaibab. So today I got there a little bit, I think just a few minutes before sunrise, and the first set of parking places was taken. And part of it is Cub needs to have one of the end spots so that I can hang the rear of it off. So today I'm about a mile, a little less than a mile, I think. And I'm gonna finish up. And this is the view out of Cub, where I'm grabbing myself some very quick snack, get some protein. So this is a fantastic place to wrap up my run and have this view out my side window here. So with the occasional people walking by, but that's totally fine. Just an awesome place to sit down and enjoy my accomplishment for the day. One of the best things about finishing up in Cub is that I can make myself this nice chocolate shake with Breyer's vanilla bean ice cream, which is my favorite Breyer's ice cream. And I don't have to wait in a really, really long line. The last time I finished up out of Bright Angel with a bunch of friends and I wanted some ice cream, the line looked to be about 40 minutes long. So no line here in Cub. I just pull out the stuff I want. I already had my protein and a banana, and now I am enjoying my much-earned dessert. It's very yummy, while of course enjoying my absolutely fantastic views.